We are tracking breaking news this morning. Police making an arrest in the fatal shooting of a beloved local teacher. Another vaccination super site opening in San Diego. And what comes next? And where lawmakers and the White House stand on negotiations for the next relief bill and stimulus checks. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Virginia Cha, and we do have breaking news right now. Police have made an arrest in the murder of a local teacher. Police have identified 30-year-old Jesse Alvarez as the suspect. Now, they say he shot and killed Mario Fierro yesterday morning along Kansas Street. Dozens gathered last night to mourn the loss of the Cathedral Catholic High School teacher. Those who knew him say he was more than a teacher and coach. He was also a mentor and a father figure to many.
He was always there for you if you needed you to watch some extra film, or if you needed some help with gear, stats, game plan. He offered rides for guys who, struggled to get home after practice and whatnot, went out of his way. So just extremely kind and thoughtful soul.
The motive for the killing in North Park still not clear. Our Team 10 is investigating, trying to find out more about that, as well as more on the suspect. And we'll have more for you on later editions of ABC 10 News. Well, a fourth county super vaccination site just opened in the East County. It is a walk-up site for people with appointments Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie was there as the doors opened just about an hour ago in La Mesa.
We're in the Grossmont Center Mall. This is the county's fourth super vaccination site. It's right in the middle of the mall in the food court area. And check this out. They have these QR codes that they're starting to post all throughout the mall that give you more information. It takes you to the county's website, which you can use to sign up for an appointment if you show up here without one. John Hurd was the first in line this morning with an appointment to get his second shot.
My wife has an autoimmune disorder, so I'm going to act the exact same way until she gets her second vaccine. But I work in IT and I go from business to business to business to business, so I have an opportunity to be a super spreader, which is scary.
The site at Grossmont Center Mall is expecting to vaccinate 1,000 to 1,500 people a day, and eventually could see up to 5,000 per day if the supply allows. They have doses of both Moderna and Pfizer, and with volunteers and staff on hand to steer people through the registration process into the vaccination and into the monitoring area. It joins the super site in North County that opened yesterday, as well as two others in Chula Vista and Petco Park.
Congratulations, come on through.
The hope is that it will alleviate some of the issues so many have had with making appointments online. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
The CEO of Scripps Health also told the Union Tribune that Scripps is ready and waiting to open and operate a fifth vaccination super site at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, but the county has not yet approved that. Well, scientists in Russia say the country's Sputnik V vaccine appears to be safe and effective against COVID. That vaccine was approved by the Russian government on August 11th. President Vladimir Putin personally broke the news on national television and said that one of his daughters had already been vaccinated with it. At the time, the vaccine had only been tested on several dozens of people. Researchers there now say, based on their recent trial of about 20,000 people, the vaccine is about 91% effective. In Washington, Senate Republicans and the White House say stimulus talks are progressing, but still no deal on the next package. One of the biggest sticking points, how much money to include in further stimulus checks and who should get them. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details.
A show of bipartisanship inside the Oval Office, but the only real agreement out of the nearly 2-hour meeting between President Biden and GOP lawmakers is to keep the conversation going on a COVID relief package.
We talked about differences, and I don't think he would intend to signal any changes on his part, nor would we. And so this was the first step.
Republicans and Democrats still far apart on a compromise after 10 GOP senators proposed a slimmed-down version of Biden's nearly $2 trillion aid package. The Republican plan, $600 billion.
We didn't pull $1.9 trillion out of the sky. What we did was go line by line and figure out how to meet the challenges that the public was facing.
While Biden's proposal calls for $1,400 direct payments to most Americans, Republicans want to limit the checks to $1,000 and send them to only lower-income Americans. But there is some common ground. Both sides calling for $160 billion for vaccines and testing and small businesses. This as health officials warn another coronavirus surge could be on the horizon. 35 states are now battling the more contagious variant. The White House urging them to speed up vaccinations, but some are facing challenges. New data from the CDC found less than 8% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated.
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. And if you stop their replication by vaccinating widely, you will not get mutations.
And while talks continue on COVID relief, Democrats are signaling they are willing to move forward alone if they have to. They filed a joint budget resolution yesterday, kicking off a process that could pass Biden's plan without GOP support. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
This is new today. We are hearing from former President Trump's legal team for the first time with the impeachment trial on the horizon. Today, his lawyer said it would be beyond the Senate's authority to convict him after he has left office. Beyond that, they said what he told his supporters before the storming of the Capitol is protected by the First Amendment. Democrats say the event and his rhetoric were directly responsible for that, and they say he endangered lawmakers' lives. The impeachment trial is set to begin in the Senate next week. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer has officially launched his gubernatorial run. Within just the last hour, he held his first news conference in which he criticized Governor Newsom's leadership. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell explains.
Standing in front of Cabrillo Elementary with the school bus next to him, former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer wanted to highlight what he describes the ineffective leadership of Governor Gavin Newsom.
The world used to look to California for a brighter future. But now, we can't even keep the lights on. It's become the land of broken promises. And the promise breaker in chief is Gavin Newsom.
Faulconer kicked off his campaign to become California's governor with a news conference in LA Tuesday morning. This as the movement to recall Governor Newsom moves forward. Organizers of this effort say they are close to gathering the 1.5 million signatures required to initiate a recall election. They say they have 1.3 million signatures. As of January 6th, the California Secretary of State's website shows 410,087 valid signatures submitted. At the time when Faulconer announced he was joining the recall movement, Dan Newman, who represents Governor Newsom, released a statement that reads in part, "The Trump train doesn't want to leave the station, but Kevin Faulconer is all aboard." Faulconer is joining other Trump supporters who want taxpayers to waste $100 million on a special election redo, mere months before a regularly scheduled election. Organizers of the recall effort have until March 17th to gather signatures. If they get the required amount, a recall election could be scheduled as early as this summer. Reporting from home, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
We'll take a look. This was the scene in Sunrise, Florida this morning. A flag draped over the body of an FBI agent, one of two killed in a violent shootout. It happened this morning as agents were serving a search warrant. Authorities say at some point the suspect opened fire, then barricaded himself inside his home. 2 agents were killed, 3 others wounded. The suspect, police say, took his own life.